Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is true. Living life in the fast lane for 35 years, I received my first speeding ticket less than 30 days ago. So to say it was a fun experience wouldn't be the case. It was not something I'd expected, and as most people experience, not something that makes a fun day and a fun experience. And we'll get into that here in a little bit. Well, as many of you know, I work and have a place to stay in Long Island, New York. This is beautiful Long Island. And I also own a home and have my family upstate in Rochester, New York. Now, for those who don't know New York or aren't familiar with the territory, it sounds like it's just a quick jaunt up the road. But as you see from the map here on Google Maps, down in the bottom right hand corner is where I am in Long Island, and in the upper left hand corner is Rochester. And that translates to about 6.5 hours, depending on traffic, as you exit New York City through the George Washington Bridge. So I left about in the afternoon from Long Island, and I was driving up to see my family in Rochester, actually borrowing my friend Mike's car. He was nice enough to let me borrow his car while mine was stored away for the winter. And just if you see where it says New York and Syracuse, below that is Cortland. Well, on the drive, it was a rainy day, and it's not too fun to follow for half hour plus a vehicle this size spraying water up on your windshield. I had the wipers on full speed, and it still was hard to see at this point. So we're going about 72 miles an hour. So, you know, the speed limit is 65. We're going 71, 72 miles an hour. I have the car on cruise control. And finally, I was like, you know what? This is getting old of having the wipers on full speed and still not being able to see. So let's pass my friend, Mr. Semi Truck Driver. Little did I know that there was another friend waiting for me just as I was doing so. And if, you know, as I mentioned, we were already going about 71, 72. I was up, the radar gun showed me I was at 81 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. So I was pulled over and given this nice piece of paper. And as you can see, this occurred about 8:47 p.m. on March 4th, 2008, just a little while ago. And to the bottom right of that, you see 81 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone, which isn't a fun way to kick the evening off, let's say. So, that being said, I was now entered into the legal zone. I had several options. As you saw in the paper back there, I could have signed it and pled guilty and sent away. However, if you're familiar with some things that can occur after doing that, insurance companies are notified, and insurance companies aren't being so nice when you get speeding tickets like that. So you pay the fine, and that would just be the beginning of your problems because now your insurance rates would be definitely increased and sometimes almost doubled. So, that being said, I was fortunate enough to be exposed to a company a while back that basically is kind of like a BJ's wholesale club where you can go in there and buy bulk based upon the majority of the people that have their cards. You know, they can have that buying power. So, similarly, I was exposed to a company that had that same service for legal systems. So you pay, you know, approximately $1 a day to participate, but there's thousands of people that are doing that. So the thousands of dollars a day are backing you up in the legal system. So I simply placed a phone call and signed back up. The funny part of this was that I have had that protection for years. I think going back to 2001, 2002, but in the last couple of years, I've been so busy traveling the world, and I've had actually people try to use my credit cards. So I've had credit cards get stopped. I've had credit cards expire. So in my travels, I missed the mail and I missed an email notifying me that my payment wasn't being processed through the normal monthly credit card, whether that card expired or had been canceled and I was shipped another one. I didn't know that, so unaware of that, I called and they said, "Oh, sir, you're not a member anymore. It lapsed several months ago." So I signed back up, and even though similar to insurance companies, if you were to have a medical ailment and then get insurance, it's a pre-existing experience. So my ticket is now a pre-existing case per se. So I'm not covered under the normal plan, but I was able to sign back up, get a referral attorney, and versus standing in front of a court judge dealing with this 81 mile per hour and a 65 mile per hour ticket hours away from my house, I was able to get this referral attorney to represent me, and Save me ever having to have any interaction with that court. I simply faxed the information to my attorney. They worked on my behalf, and I was able to do what I wanted to do with my family and didn't interrupt my life or lifestyle in any way, shape, or form. And then a short while ago, I received this awesome letter, and this is where the referral attorney, who I was given a significant discount on what it cost me had I not, being that it was pre-existing, I wasn't covered under what normally would happen if I were to get one now that I have my account. So with pre-existing, I still was giving a significant discount, and using his services, they were very successful in obtaining a reduction of that infraction down to, or what would have been a 4 points charge, down to a no point charge of parked on pavement. So that's very good, because no points means no insurance raise, hopefully. I don't know all those laws, but parked on pavement definitely is not going to be a big red flag versus an 81 and a 65. So that was a very good experience to receive this letter. And it made me and my wife very happy, because we now won't have those huge jumps in the insurance, so that gives her more money to do the things she likes to do, which include shopping and more shopping. And that leads to, what about you? Have you ever thought about what would occur if and when you have to enter the legal system? Well, there are ways to prevent experiences like this. When you have your friend pull you over, and many other things that occur on a regular basis, you can be in a reactive mode, such as getting pulled over by a police, or a proactive mode, asking all your legal questions. And you get the power of that conglomerate, all the people representing you throughout the United States, at less than $1 per day. So you get the power of big money attorneys for $1 a day. It works out pretty well. And in order to find out more right now, all you'd have to do is go to that website, prepaidlegal.com/hub/my name, Thomas H. Beal. And as you saw in the beginning, that was my red car in the beginning, and this is my red car now, the Acura NSX. That's my son. If you go to that site, you'll see a picture of me, my son, my wife, and our daughter standing there in a family photo. But the ticket that I did receive wasn't in this red car. It was in my friend Mike's Lexus. So go there now, learn more about this plan, Prepaid Legal, and when you go to that page, you'll see several options. The first one on the top right is for the personal family plan, and then there are several other options, and if you have any questions, there's ways to contact me from there. So thank you for listening to my story, and I hope your story has a happy ending similar to mine, and I hope you choose to protect your family the way my family is protected.